And for the first live broadcasted game of the year, we welcome you to the Centerbrook Drive-In Port in Centerton, Indiana. Let's meet both teams. How about the trades that we saw going into this season? Plainfield Thunder, they lead the power rankings over the Arrows. The Plainfield Thunder got really good over the offseason, and you'll hear why. Let's meet the starting five for both teams. The Thunder have Cooper Dunbar, Luke Earl, Jacob Chalet, Nick Green, and Jonathan Stevenson in their starting five. But for the Racers, they have Keaton Aldridge, Harper Baker Lands, Brennan Miller, Elijah King, and Vanden Garner. Garner is new here. Miller and others are not. We are underway from Centerton. It's going to be interesting to see how Green does on the Thunder. Here's Gardner. Gardner has it. He looks past Miller. Brennan Miller for two. Nice shot by Brennan Miller. And now here is Cooper Dunbar. Now here's Green. Nick Green for three. Plainfield goes up 3-2. This is a Plainfield squad that can easily win the finals if they can play good. Keaton Aldridge will miss the three. Dunbar with the rebound. Now here's Green, passes Chalet. Chalet looks back to Green. Here's Thunder, back to Stevenson. Jonathan Stevenson for three. Welcome back to Centerton, Jonathan Stevenson. If you remember, Stevenson was on the runner-up team of the Racers last season. Same as Dunbar. Here's Green with the ball. Pass to Ertl. Ertl has it back to Chalet. Chalet has the ball. Looks back to Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar for three. The three-pointers are flying for the Plainfield Thunder. Plainfield looks really good so far this year. They lead the Racers. Here's Aldridge. Back to Gardner. Vanden Garner for three. He is a former Red Devil from Pike. Here's Dunbar. He has the ball now. Dunbar looks, keeps it himself. Pass to Chalet. Now it's Ertl. Pass to Dunbar again. Dunbar will miss the three. Here's Miller. He has the ball. Pass back to King. King to Gardner. Vanden Garner has the ball. Covered by Stevenson. Gardner to King. Elijah King with the slam. It's a two-point game once again here from Centerton. Dunbar has the ball. He looks. Here's Dunbar. Pass to Ertl. Ertl to Chalet. Jacob Chalet for two. Make it 11-7. The Thunder has the lead. Here's Baker Lands. He has the ball for the Racers. Baker Lands back to Miller. Brennan Miller. He will miss the shot. Ertl rebound. Now, here is Dunbar. Back to Ertl. Ertl has it. Ertl looks. Goes up. He will score. Luke Ertl for two. 13-7. Aldridge has the ball. Back to Miller. Now it's Baker Lands. Lands to King. Elijah King with it. Covered by Chalet. Now it's Brennan Miller who will miss the three. Ertl rebound. Ertl has it. Back to Stevenson. Jonathan Stevenson with the slam.
Number 12.
A big dunk by Stevenson. Timeout, Centerton. Plainfield looks really good to start the season, and they could be on the track to go far in the playoffs later this season. The Thunder leads it 15-7 over runner-ups, the Racers, last year. And now we welcome you back here to Centerton. Look at the league leaders the last season rebounds per game. Person Stoudemire led that group. And now here we go back from the Centerbrook Drive-In Court. Stoudemire coming on the court for the Racers. Here's Stoudemire, pass to Gardner. Gardner back to Aldridge, now Stoudemire. Stoudemire looks, back to Irwin. Pass to Aldridge. How about Garrett Irwin getting to play? Vanden Gardner will miss the three. Stevenson rebound. Here's Stevenson with it. Pass to Chalet. Chalet looks. Pass to Madsen. Back to Jefferson. It's Khalil Jefferson. Back to Ertl. Now it's Stevenson again. Now it's Jefferson. Khalil Jefferson. We saw him last year on the Arrows. Jefferson back to Madsen. Knocks Madsen. Misses the three. Gardner rebound to Miller. Now here's Stoudemire. Now Jahari Miller. Now Garrett Irwin. Here's Brennan Miller. Not Jahari Miller. It's Brennan Miller. Brennan Miller for two. Stevenson rebound. Now it's Madsen with the ball. Madsen to Chalet. Now here's Madsen again. Madsen to Jefferson. Khalil Jefferson will miss the three. Irwin rebound. Now here's Stoudemire. Stoudemire back to Gardner. Gardner to Aldridge. Back to Stoudemire. Now it's Gardner again. Vanden Gardner misses the three. Coming up later this month, it's the Thunder and the Arrows at Plainfield and at Terre Haute. Two great games. Knox Madsen will miss the three. Here we go, and the three-pointer is no good. The Thunder leads it 15-9 after the first quarter. Plainfield looking good here tonight. Nick Green already with a three-pointer, trying to go off the rest of the game. And we welcome you back here to Centerton. Here we go. Mason Warren gives it to Knox Madsen. Here's Madsen. He has the ball. Madsen looks. Pass to Warren. Warren there. Back to Green. Nick Green will miss the three. Grant Irwin gives it to Baker Lands. Now here's Garrett Irwin. Now it's Baker Lands with it. Baker Lands to Stoudemire. Carson Stoudemire will miss the three. Khalil Jefferson rebound. Back to William Clore. Here's Jefferson with it. Jefferson back to Madsen. Knocks Madsen for two. The Thunder has all different guys on their team. Here's Riley Barton. Barton has the ball. Barton to Irwin. Grant Irwin for two. 17-11. Here's Madsen. Madsen has it back to Jefferson. Jefferson to Warren. Back to Clore. Clore looks. Pass back to Jefferson. Khalil Jefferson back to Thunder. Back to Jefferson. Khalil Jefferson for three. Timeout, Centerton. And now we welcome you back here to Centerton. The Racers finished runner-up last year in the championship game. Now, they look to get back going this year, trying to make it back this year and win. But it will be no easy task. The task will be hard for the tie. Riley Barton has it. Riley Barton will miss the 2. Craig gives it to Thunder. Green back to Dunbar. Here is Dunbar with it. Dunbar looks. Back to Craig. J.J. Craig back to Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar for 3. He made all those threes last year for the Racers. Now he's shooting them again tonight here in Centerton, but this time for the Thunder. Barton to Baker Lands. Harper Baker Lands for 3. Big time three-pointer by Baker Lands. Now here's Khalil Jefferson. Jefferson has the ball. Pass to Dunbar. Dunbar with a slam. Dunbar kept it himself, and the assist from Khalil Jefferson. How about Baker Lands getting dunked on by Cooper Dunbar? Now, here is Baker Lands. He has the ball. So do the Racers. The Racers have the ball here. Baker Lands looks, drives it in. Pass out to Stoudemire. Now it's Barton. Riley Barton for 3. Barton used to play rec basketball. Now here he is in the actual league. Timeout Thunder. 25-17. And we welcome you back here to Centerton. Take a look at the league leaders and second chance points last season. How about Newark in 3rd, just behind Danville Pioneers, and of course, the Centerton Racers. The Plainfield Thunder will have the ball, and Chalet that has it. Chalet gives it to Clore. Here's Clore. Pass to Dunbar. Dunbar with it. Looks. Gonna keep himself back to Stevenson. Jonathan Stevenson with the slam. He has 7 points tonight, including a three-pointer. Here's Riley Barton. Another guy on Plainfield from the past Centerton team last year is going to be Jackson Gordon. How about that three-pointer by Keaton Aldridge? Now it's a 7-point lead. Dunbar has the ball. Gordon really hasn't played much, but he probably will get playing time later this season. Khalil Jefferson for 3. I am telling you what, this Plainfield offense might be the offense that could hang with the Arrows. Here's Aldridge. Aldridge back to Barton. Riley Barton for 2. I think game of the month is coming up later this month between the Thunder and the Arrows. Stevenson misses a 2. King there. Now it's Miller. Brennan Miller misses a 2. Chalet rebound. Chalet was on Fostoria last year. Here he is back in the state of Indiana. Here's Dunbar back to Chalet. Jacob Chalet for 3. Nice three-pointer by Jake. Now here's Aldridge. Aldridge back to Barton. Now it's Irwin. Irwin to Miller. Brennan Miller has the ball. Looks back to King. Elijah King with it back to Barton. Riley Barton misses the three. William Clore rebound. Now it's Stevenson. Stevenson. Pass goes way out of bounds. Into the game for the Thunder. It's Nick Green. And how about Luke Ertl? Both of them are back into the game. Same as Bandon Gardner. Here's Gardner. He has the ball. Gardner misses the two. Chalet, pass to Ertl. Here's Ertl. He looks. Pass to Green. Now it's Chalet. Back there. Now it's Chalet again. Chalet has it. Pass to Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar will miss the three. It's Miller with the rebound. Miller pass to Gardner. Bandon Gardner has it. He goes up. He will not score. And that's halftime.
Your home team, 22.
Going to the Nova Rain halftime show. The Plainfield Thunder has the lead. It's 33-22. This is the Nova Rain halftime show. Welcome back, folks, to the halftime report. What a game we are seeing here tonight. Let's take a look at the Player of the Week from the Western Conference, Brody McGea from Orange Beach, and of course the Eastern Conference, Keaton Aldridge from the Racers. Folks, we are seeing a great game tonight, and the Plainfield Thunder looking like they're going to be number one in the East once again this season. And this time, they might go all the way to the finals. If they do that, are they going to face the Arrows? That's the question. But it's still early, very early in the season. We're still only a few weeks in. Dunbar and Riley Barton are your top performers tonight as the Thunder leads it. We welcome you back here to Centerton. It is 33-22. The Thunder have a huge lead over the Centerton Racers. Here is the first half highlights for Cooper Dunbar. Dunbar's first half on the Thunder here in Centerton, really, really good. Here we go. Chalet gives it back to Dunbar. Second half underway. Here's Green. Back to Chalet. Jacob Chalet for three. Plainfield is just running away with this lead. Baker Lands has the ball. Here's Baker Lands. Harper Baker Lands. He will miss the three. Chalet pass to Green. Green back to Dunbar. Dunbar to Chalet. Jacob Chalet for two. Chalet starting to go off. Here's Aldridge. Aldridge to Gardner. Back to Miller. Brennan Miller for three. Big three-pointer by Brennan Miller. Here's Cooper Dunbar. Dunbar has the ball. Pass to Ertl. Luke Ertl has it. Ertl goes up. He will score. Make it 40-25. The Thunder has the lead big. Aldridge to Baker Lands. Back to Gardner. Bandon Gardner back to Aldridge. Keaton Aldridge will miss the three. Stevenson rebound. Stevenson to Chalet. Chalet goes up. He will score. Timeout, Centerton. We are going to stay with you here. As let's talk about the Arrows real quick. The Arrows have both lane plays, both Wolfleys. They have Ben Wiederholt. They have Dane Caldwell. They still have Isaiah Hill, Brady Kloppenstein, and Zach Ellett. The Arrows look really good. Yeah, that's right. The Terrell Arrows have a lot of the best players from last year. Even Krishawn Woodward is on the team. Now here we go. Keaton Aldridge has the ball. Aldridge there, back to Miller. It's Miller back to King. King back to Garner. Garner back to Baker Lands. Baker Lands to Miller. Brennan Miller will miss the three. Big time rebound by the Thunder. Ertl to Green. Green for two. Make it 44-25. Now here's Keaton Aldridge covered by Dunbar. Now it's King. Elijah King there back to Miller. Now it's Aldridge. Pass to Baker Lands. Harper Baker Lands misses the two. Chalet rebound. Jacob Chalet climbs over the top. Slams it in on Baker Lands. And Vanden Gardner. What a dunk by Chalet. And I'll tell you what, folks. The Racers cannot do anything with this Plainfield team. Here's Miller back to Baker Lands. Baker Lands goes up. Misses the two. Chalet rebound. Chalet to Stevenson. Now here's Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar misses the three. Miller rebound. Now here's Baker Lands. Back to Aldridge. Keaton Aldridge misses the two. Stevenson rebound. Now here's Chalet. Chalet back to Dunbar. Dunbar has it himself. Looks back to Stevenson now. It's Ertl. Ertl has the ball. Back to Dunbar. Dunbar looks. Pass to Ertl. Now it's Chalet. Now it's Green. Back to Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar will miss the three. Elijah King rebound. King back to Gardner. Back to Aldridge. Aldridge to Gardner. Vanden Gardner for two. Nice shot. Now here we go. Stevenson gives it to Dunbar. The crowd is quiet here in Centerton. Green gives it to Dunbar. Dunbar to Ertl. Back to Thunder. Now it's Stevenson, Ertl, Green again. Green to Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar misses the three. Baker Lands to Aldridge. Aldridge passes the ball. Back to King. Elijah King has it back to Miller. Brennan Miller for three. Timeout Plainfield.
Timeout called for the Thunder. Fans, make some noise for your dance team.
And we welcome you back here to Centerton. Take a look at the league leaders of the field goal percentage last season. The Arrows lead that list, and that's not shocking because the Arrows actually won the finals. The Arrows and the Marion Wildcats are the two CSKN NBA champions. Who will join that list this season? Or will the Arrows reign supreme again? It's Madston with the ball for the Thunder. Madston has it Looks, keeps it himself. Pass to Core. Back to Jefferson. Khalil Jefferson misses the three. Aldridge rebound. Back to Irwin. Here's Garrett Irwin. Pass to Soundmeyer. Now it's Aldridge again. Aldridge to Baker Lands. Baker Lands misses the three. Madsen rebound. Pass to Jefferson. Now it's Madsen again. Madsen to Stevenson. Stevenson has it. Pass to Madsen. Knocks Madsen. Misses the three. Irwin to Aldridge. Aldridge back to Irwin. It's Grant Irwin. Pass to Baker Lands now. Baker Lands looks. Pass to Irwin. Grant Irwin for two. He might get traded coming up in a few weeks or coming up later tonight. We know that there will be some little trades happening for until the big trade happens again. Stevenson missed the two, but it's still a big lead, 46-32 for Plainfield. And we welcome you back here to Centerton. The fans are staying just barely. It's Riley Barton that has the ball. Here's Barton. Back to Miller. Brennan Miller for two. Can the Racers come back and win this game? It's Madsen that has the ball. Madsen has it. He looks. Who's he going to give it to? He gives it to Dunbar. Dunbar looks. Back to Chalet. Jacob Chalet for three. Here is Silas Smith. He has the ball. His first time playing pretty much in a while. Here's Smith. He looks. Silas Smith for three. Jefferson gives it to Dunbar. Dunbar looks. Keeps it back to Jefferson. Khalil Jefferson will miss the three. Here's Elijah King back to Miller. Miller to Barton. Riley Barton looks back to King. Passes Smith, now it's Irwin. Irwin to Miller. Brennan Miller misses the three. Rebound Irwin. Here's Silas Smith. He misses the three. Irwin almost got the rebound, but it's Core that gets it back. Core to Dunbar. Dunbar misses the three. Miller rebound. Now here's Irwin. Garrett Irwin with it. Now here's Smith. Silas Smith misses the three. Core rebound. Pass to Dunbar. Here's Dunbar with it. Dunbar has it. Looks. Back to Madsen. Madsen there. Madsen to Chalet. Jacob Chalet misses the two. Tipped. Rebound Miller. Brennan Miller puts it up for two. And the Racers are coming back. Here is Dunbar. Here's Dunbar. He has the ball. Timeout, Plainfield. And we welcome you back here to Centerton. You know what? The fans have stayed. I can see why. It is a good game now. The Thunder had a huge lead over the Racers. Now it's Centerton. Looks like that they're coming back. Here is Green. He has the ball. Pass. He looks, keeps it himself. He misses a 2. King rebound. Here is Baker Lands. Baker Lands to Gardner. Bandon Gardner has it. Gardner looks. Covered by Stevenson. Pass to Miller. Brennan Miller for 3. Here comes the Racers. Miller has 17 points tonight. Dunbar now has the ball. Pass to Green. Now it's Chalet. Chalet to Ertl. Now it's Thunder again. Green has the ball. Pass to Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar will miss the 3. The offense for the Plainfield Thunder is not doing well. Gardner has the ball. Bandon Gardner has it. Bandon Gardner misses the 3. May I remind you guys, Plainfield was up by 15 at one point. Chalet has it back to Green. Nick Green will miss the 3. Miller rebound. Now here's Gardner. Gardner goes up for 2. He gets fouled all the way up by Luke Ertl. And that's a brand new rule this year. Shooting fouls do not give you automatic points. Cooper Dunbar for 3. Bandon Gardner has the ball. Gardner has it. Looks. Keeps it himself. Pass to King. King back to Miller. Brennan Miller looks tipped. Almost stolen by Thunder. King for 2. Now, here's Stevenson back to Dunbar. Dunbar has the ball. They are up by 6. Dunbar looks. Back to Chalet. Chalet to Ertl. Ertl to Green. Back to Ertl. Luke Ertl has it. Back to Thunder. Now Stevenson. Here's Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar with the slam. Gardner has the ball. Looks, goes up for 2. Dunbar has it. Dunbar looks. Back to Green, now it's Ertl. Ertl has it. Back to Green, now here's Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar for 3. Timeout Racers. And now we welcome you back here to Centerton. Plainfield is pulling away after Dunbar's big fourth quarter, late fourth quarter to be exact. It's 57-48. Here's Bandon Gardner. He has the ball. Gardner has it. Back to Baker Lands. Baker Lands has it. He looks stolen by Chalet. Chalet with the steal. He has it back to Thunder. Green to Dunbar. Dunbar to Chalet. Now it's Green again. Green to Dunbar. Cooper Dunbar misses a 3. Stevenson rebound. Ertl back to Dunbar. Here's Green. Pass to Dunbar. Now to Ertl. Looks like that they're just going to hold it. And Plainfield is going to win here in Centerton. They win it 57-48. The Thunder reign supreme. They hold on to the lead. They hold on to the win. 57-48 is the final score tonight. The Plainfield Thunder looks really good this season. They beat the Racers. That will do it for tonight's game. Let's meet tonight's player of the game, Jacob Chalet. Chalet was on point tonight. I can't wait to see what he has in store the rest of the season for the Plainfield Thunder.